What up? What up? What up? What up? Let's see. Y'all all right? Hello?
Yeah, we in here.
Y'all in this piece?
Hello.
All right.
Miss
Hello?
Modkins, Miss Modkins in the crew. What's good with y'all?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Look,
Everybody.
Happy birthday, Latif.
what's all them
Happy
balloons?
birthday, Latif.
What's all them
Thank you.
balloons
Thank
back
you.
there for?
Let's cheer. Throw one up for Latif.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday?
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Oh,
How old are you?
Mm-mm.
I'm 24.
Hey.
I know that's right.
that brother ain't been 24 in 25 years.
That's funny.
All right. Do the math.
Okay.
He's doing the
Math.
25th anniversary of his 24th birthday.
That's
Let
what
that
I'm
man
doing.
know.
I'm doing the
That's
25th
right. That's
anniversary.
right.
It's the silver anniversary of my 24.
That is funny.
That's
Don't try
it,
to do
baby.
a whole lot of stuff you used to do when you was 24. That's all.
Exactly.
In moderation.
And then Miles, it was your birthday on Monday. Happy belated birthday to you. One token.
Thank you, my dear. I
I
appreciate it.
know. Happy
Oh,
belated, Miles. Y'all
The
look at
brothers.
y'all. Y'all
The
all
brothers.
we're brothers.
That was funny, B.
What
That
show
was a
was
good one.
that? What show
give
was
us
that,
a
Ray?
high five.
The Wayne brothers.
Wayne brothers.
We're brothers.
And
We're
Mo had a
happy and
birthday
we're
this year.
We're
So
happy and we're
congratulations.
colored.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
High five.
We'll give you a high five.
Latif, what did you do? I think I saw some pictures on Facebook. You were fishing or something.
Oh,
Oh,
that's old.
yesterday I
That's
took the
grown
kids
man.
fishing.
Oh, okay.
I took the
Oh, I
kids
You,
thought that
fishing.
was
I went
today.
fishing off the canal pier.
They were on a boat. Silly B.
Yeah. We went out on a boat and Kadir caught a fish. I was
Oh, that's
happy for that.
nice.
That was his first time fishing. So he caught a fish, and shortly after that, like about 45 minutes, my daughter got seasick. And then shortly after that, Kadir became a little queasy.
Mm.
Oh.
And so, that kind of it didn't damper things, but it just, and plus the fish weren't really biting. So, we only caught like 3 fish for 5 hours, something like that. So it was just a bad.
ratio.
It is a terrible ratio.
I'm
But
just trying to figure
but the
out.
experience.
I'm just trying to figure out why black folk jumping back on boats. That's all I want to know.
You gotta get on the boat, get on out there and fish. Gotta get
Roy,
on out there and
not
get
today.
fish.
No.
This time, but this time I made the choice to get on the boat. I
That
was not
part.
forced on the boat.
Tell
I
him you the
chose to walk
captain
on
now.
that boat.
You the captain
captain.
now.
The captain
Right.
I'm the
now.
captain.
I'm gonna
Right.
quote
That's
movies
what
through the
you
whole
did.
thing today. I'm the
And-
captain now.
And when I got on the boat, I said, "You better turn me back around, or else."
Randy,
We're gonna get a
Randy,
free
you-
ride to
you
They did the
that
same
wrong,
thing on the
Randy.
Amistad, Latif.
It did.
Randy,
Give
you
us
said that wrong. You gotta say it like, "I'm the captain now."
Oh yeah, that's true.
Look at me. Look
I'm
at
the
me.
captain. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Don't
I'm the
look at
So
me.
what
captain.
happened
The
this
captain
week,
now.
everybody? What
I'm
happened
the
this
captain
week?
now.
Yeah, I wanted to start the show after all of our pleasantries to one another with something that I heard.
What you heard? Give us your 2 cents, girl.
Girl,
What you heard?
Yes. I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna play it for you. It's Plies.
Okay.
I love Plies.
Hey, just a quick message. I hope I won't offend nobody for what I'm about to say. Just something I want to get off my chest. I've been hearing it and kind of seeing it flow around lately. A lot of people been saying, but football is all a lot of these kids got. Football is all they got. Football ain't all we got. Football is just all we choose to have. But it ain't all we got. The same way we learn to conquer football and sports, we can learn to conquer something else. We ain't one-dimensional. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. You know how many people told Barack he couldn't become the president of the United States? And he believed it and applied himself and became the president of the United States. Robert Smith, one of the biggest investors in the country, worth $5 billion. Look just like me and you. Just donated $34 million to HBCUs to wipe them out debt-free at Morehouse. David Stewart worth $3.9 billion. Look just like me and you. Probably ain't never lift a weight. Probably ain't never did a bike pedal. But he the chairman and the founder of Worldwide Technology, worth $3.9 billion. Football ain't all we got. It's just all we choose to have. Oprah, worth $1 billion. She ain't ran a car around yet. But the same way we inject sports and football into these kids, if we inject something else in them, they're going to do the same thing they did with football. Take it in, master it, and become one of the best to do it. Football ain't all we got. It's just all we choose to have.
Imagine if we went into hockey.
A rapper, that's deep.
Not another sport, William.
No, but
William
listen,
said, what about that baseball money?
No, but listen, let me tell you something. Some of the best hockey players right now are black.
Yeah.
Of course.
But we had.
I thought we only had one in the NHL.
We know we
there's
dominate
several.
athletics. That's beyond the point. I think what he's emphasizing is we got to keep that same energy
with everything else.
But I think it's perspective, though, because I think, even for me coming out of high school as a collegiate athlete, I think a lot of times, for families who don't necessarily have a broadened perspective, you think that's your way out. That's your ticket out. Even the family members, that's their ticket out. But we realize as we get older and we start maturing a little bit more, there's a whole lot more to us. We're more than an athlete.
Right. So at what point does... Go ahead.
There was when I was choosing what I wanted to be, I remember I stated that I wanted to be a pilot at an early age, simply because I was exposed to it and I thought it was a cool thing. Plus, I was trying to emulate my uncle, because my uncle had, he had the cars, the women, and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, I want to be just like that because he wants to be a pilot. However, during that time, I would take lessons in high school while others are playing football and stuff like that or what have you. And I just continued to take lessons and do what have you. And even through the struggle of it up until now, I had one friend who started taking lessons the same time or shortly after I did. And when I got my job, my very first job, flight instructor, I think I made something like $8,000 in 1 year.
I'm about to say to you, talking about the $10,000 a year job. Yeah, that one. Right.
I made $8,000 in that year. And my homeboy, he was like, how much you made? I was like, I made $8,000 a year. And he was like, dawg, I do that in a month with the cell phone store. And he was like, man, I'm finna. So he dropped it.
That's amazing.
So fast forward to now, because the cell phone business failed. Well, not failed, but I think they did away with it. And I continued. And so now I talk to him now, and he's like, dawg, I should have kept flying.
How much you make?
Right.
Yeah. After you tell us how old you are, tell us how much money you make.
$8,000 a year back then. And so now I make $12,000 a year.
What?
Oh, okay.
That's right.
All right.
It's enough to avoid them expensive balloons.
That's so
behind
good,
it.
Latif.
Right.
You got the expensive balloons, Latif. I like
Look,
that.
sound like
Man, I got these on Homestead Ave.
Nah, bro, those are Mylar.
That's funny, Dwight.
Latif, I'm gonna tell you, every time I get on an airplane and I see a black pilot, I want to dap him up. I want to just hug him. I don't know why it makes me so happy, and I'm always so proud. But I don't want to get kicked off the plane, so I just go, "Who is that behind you, Brandy?"
That's Tuesday.
Brandy,
that's Tuesday.
Yourself, Brandy.
Look at her.
That's Tuesday.
No, but she stayed in character. Good job, Brandy. Brandy stayed in
Don't
character.
talk about it.
That's right. That's right.
No attention over here.
She broke her whole conversation.
I know.
But I think that was exactly what you're saying, Latif, is exactly what Plies was referring to. Exposing our children, our young ones, to another sport, or academics, and striving and looking and emulating off of people who are of color, who are doing great things to aspire to do. Miles, did you have any closing thoughts on that?
Well, I think that a real and I make no mistake about it, I completely concur with Ply's sentiments. However, I think that you also have to acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of underprivileged kids who live in disenfranchised areas who, as we were talking about before we went live on the air, I'm of the opinion that, and I know, let me just say this from going to a black college and fraternizing and having a lot of friends that were athletes who told me out of their mouth, if it had not been for their sport, or they felt like if it had not been for their sport, if it had not been for football, they would have never had the opportunity to grace the college campus. You know, that was in a way to somewhat piggyback off of what Roy said, that was their ticket out. And I think that it does provide a certain discipline. It provides a certain focus, and it's an extracurricular activity that in a lot of times keeps a lot of kids off the street. I think that football itself and sports itself has saved a lot of black brown kids from being devoured by the streets. And while I'm of the opinion that, like I said, I share Ply's sentiments, I also think that there's a lot of good that football has done as well. But I do think that our focus needs to be broadened. Let me say that.
So okay, and then Dwight had something else.
I just wanted to add that. So I agree that it's an outlet, but the average NFL career is 4 years. The average NBA career is
3.2. Dwight, 3.2.
Which means it's going down. And this is my point: is that like you have a lot of brothers who will strive for this, and we know the percentages of those that actually make it. So 1%. Of 1% of all college athletes
right,
are making it to the NFL, right? And so we have to marry those two mindsets. Like, what I don't like is brothers who like go to University of Miami. I'm just using them as an example, who get pushed into a liberal arts program and without a defined skill set. So they coming out of here, even with their NFL career, not knowing how to manage their money. A lot of them ended up bankrupt. Warren Sapp, a prime example of people who had longevity in careers and ended up losing all their money because they're not doing that. So I think, yes, I think we got to get people out of that mindset, recondition their minds to understand that, yes, here's the avenue that you're using, but you got to utilize it better and with more, and be more deliberate about how you're angling this thing, because computer science, web design, all these things are things that our kids can be taking advantage of right now and killing the game if they would just do it. Like esports is actually the biggest one on in terms of scholarships now. So we need, for all these kids out here playing Fortnite and everything else, you can actually get scholarships to like Duke University, Chapel Hill in esports, which means you have to learn a particular skill set. So I'm just saying that we got to do better.
But you mean like, Dwight? You mean to tell me I could have got a scholarship for playing Tecmo Bowl?
You got it, bro. Bo Jackson all day.
But I think it's back to what Dwight is saying. It's really, I think the part that we miss, even as an athlete, it's cultural conditioning. It really is. What happens is we don't understand that when you go to a school or university on a scholarship, it's not a 4-year scholarship. It's year to year.
1 year renewal.
It's a 1 year renewal. Right. And so these kids, got to understand. And here's the thing, even the parents are not even educated. But I think we're also starting to see a new wave of Black kids that are coming out that understand that, hey, this is a business. Matter of fact, I'm going to look at an HBCU. So now you might have a Duke competing with a A&T or a FAMU. And so I'm hoping that we have this new wave of kids that are educated about, where they're going and what they're getting into, because now it's really a business.
It is.
And shout out to those athletes that are really on this COVID thing. They're the ones standing up saying, you ain't going to just be using me. So like the Syracuse football team, Michigan, like it's Black athletes that are like, you're not going to end my career so y'all can make $200 million this year.
Right.
And we haven't even talked about how these video games are using their likenesses or the likeness. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
And while we're talking about colleges competing for top athletes and HBCU actually being up there as a college that is of choice, did you all watch the national convention, the Democratic National Convention this week? And Kamala Harris was with Joe Biden, and old girl, I'm saying like my daddy, old girl gave a shout out to all the HBCUs. She said they were her family. She gave a shout out to Howard University. I think she even said that's the real HU, I believe. Ain't no party like an HU party. Because an HU party don't stop. I think she didn't say that. She didn't say that.
Did not say that.
Oh, okay.
She did not say that.
Okay.
Do not embellish.
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear her say that the AKAs, her sorority, that they were her family. Yes, go TT. Look, I'm right here with you. Yes, little pink and greenish for the cam. But what did you guys think? What were the highlights for the
She gave a
DNC
shout out
for
to
you?
the whole D9 family.
She did. She said all. Yes, the Panhellenic.
Shout out to the D9 family.
She did.
I really like the platform.
What's D9? You know, I went to the white school.
D9 is all of the sororities and
fraternities.
Oh,
it stands for Divine Nine. So it's the 9 sororities and fraternities.
That's so nice.
Well, that's April's fault for not teaching me because she was my HBCU guy.
Listen, I don't even know how you don't know that, Brandy. You are engulfed in the life. I I don't know how you don't know that.
Brandy, I'm with you.
What's that?
I'm with you, Brandy.
I know. I'm like, what's that again?
It's never too late.
What is also known as?
Dwight, what is she talking about? Come on.
Oh my God.
You're engulfed in it.
Get it all out.
I am, which is why I should have known that, but I didn't know what D9 was. I was thinking about, I was still on football. I'm like, okay, defensive.
Like, what?
I'm about to do like Ball when he's talking about championship.
Mackenzie said Howard homecoming is November the 3rd. I thought all homecomings were canceled.
They said all HBCUs homecoming is November 3rd.
On November 3rd.
Oh, okay.
At the polls.
All of them.
At the polls.
Oh, right.
The polls, yeah.
Okay. The after party.
So I'm being serious though. I'm being serious. Like we really should try and organize like a serious straight up like
COVID convention.
No, just HBCU. HBCU homecoming.
HBCU with a DJ in the parking lot or something like that, and social distance everybody and keep people moving through the park.
Oh, I like it. You know, I like a good party.
Really, you haven't been to North End Library during the early voting.
That's not likely, Latif.
It's so hot outside.
And pitch in and get some chicken sandwiches from Popeyes to bring these foods to come out. To bring these people to come out and vote.
No.
Latif, if you don't call Chunky Conk and tell him to come out, that's
right. Where's Chunky Conk be?
Somebody find Chunky Conk.
Hey, we'll call Chunky Conk then.
Yeah, let's
bring him out there.
Chunky Conk.
I like it.
And call out House of Mac too. We'll get House of Mac out there
for November 3rd, Chunky Conk.
Right.
There we go. We'll bring him out there.
All of it.
Jessica, that needs to be a national campaign.
Okay.
We'll talk about that
offline.
So,
did y'all see?
I enjoyed the Democratic National Convention being virtual. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was to the point. I enjoyed Why are you doing me like this?
For me? I was laughing because you outdid Jessica.
You gotta finish your thought without getting distracted.
I don't know what's going on, B.
I don't either. Maybe I need to put my glass over.
It was Jessica.
So I learned this a couple years ago, Makita, that this means yes.
Yes, I'm agreeing. I learned that a long time ago.
The virtual platform. It was really good. Julia Louise Dreyfus last night. She was a lot. She was.
It was a lot. What did she do?
Wait, Makita. Wait. Was she alive?
Like, how was she alive?
Well, I mean, she was giving it to Trump so hard. It was hilarious. And every time we came back from something that was serious, she was like, "Oh, and let me make sure you know, Donald Trump is." Oh wait, let me make sure you know. He's an idiot. And so wait, let me make sure you know. He's going to tweet about this in about 30 minutes and he's going to talk about me and this is what he's going to say about me. Oh yeah, there are children starving in Africa. But wait, Donald Trump is dumb. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
That part.
I did too.
Really good.
That was the Seinfeld lady, the lady from Seinfeld.
From Seinfeld.
You can't say the whole name.
Richard Dreyfuss' daughter.
Isn't Did she Richard Dreyfuss?
Yeah, I'm like, Miles, I'm not sure about that.
Made that up. No, she is not.
That's so funny. Wakita made that up.
Alternative facts.
Somebody call Maury Povich for Miles because he made somebody else a father.
Miles went to Grambling. He went to Grambling.
I could have sworn I saw that somewhere.
Miles went to Grambling.
No, Miles.
Stop.
No, I didn't just go to Grambling. I graduated.
And so speaking of Grambling, did y'all hear about Tim Norman, Sweetie Pies?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
man.
That is the problem.
He's a Grambling graduate.
No.
Boy,
you know what's? But I'm gonna tell you, man. My wife and I used to actually watch that show, and he was shady on the show. He was shady on the show.
Yes,
like,
it was always something weird about him.
They had some beef about some financial matters in the past. He had already done 10 years in prison prior to that. So, like, he had already been involved in a lot of shady dealings before that.
I don't trust black men who have baby patches of hair right here.
You stupid.
So when the story actually broke, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked at all. I was like, yeah, that sounds like something he'd definitely be a part of and something he's capable of.
I was shocked because I can't even imagine how somebody could think about doing that to their
flesh and blood.
Like that's
something you never heard of.
People do it all the time. You don't watch murder mysteries?
Listen, I don't watch scary movies.
I'm an ID junkie, boy.
I watch Daylight
I'm an ID junkie, boy. I be watching
Lifetime all the time.
Hey, boy, my family they look at me sideways all the time because I look at ID channel all the time.
Makita, you clearly do not have TV1. You need to
TV1.
TV1 got a whole bunch of shows about us doing that to our culture.
Right.
Half of BET and all the TV1.
But they don't kill their nephews.
But to Jody's point, is that what's going on right now? Like, men are taking out insurance policies to kill their nephews, kill their flesh and blood.
That is the crazy part.
That's crazy.
People have been doing insurance fraud like that for
insurance fraud, yes, but you kill your nephew for insurance fraud?
Not your wife. Okay, your wife or your husband, you kill them, but now you're gonna kill your family's child?
So
watch the ID channel.
So you think some people who put a stove in their child's name won't turn around and take an insurance policy?
No.
The car in their child's name.
Is it really that hard of a bridge to cross?
It is. It is.
It is, Dwight.
I'm with
Dwight. It's not like this doesn't happen on Snapped all the time. Like
listen,
y'all.
I'm glad I'm not related to Dwight.
But how you snap on your child, your niece and nephew?
I'm not the one putting my nephew on my niece. I'm just saying, if somebody gonna put something on a 3-month-old, what makes you think they ain't gonna take it?
Yeah, they were alive and you took an insurance policy out on them.
No.
He took a $450,000 insurance policy and then tried to cash in on it.
And still never got the money.
That's what got him.
Never got the money.
He tried to cash in a week after, and I was watching, like I said, watching the ID channel, it really, like, I watch it in amazement. Like, y'all really thought y'all was gonna get away with that? All of a sudden, your husband is missing, and you don't think nobody gonna be like, so where's your husband?
But wait a minute, that's going on right now. Did you hear about the couple? Well, they're like dating or something, went out west and buried the kids and came back, and the kids were missing. It's going on right now.
From Iowa,
yeah.
The couple from Iowa,
yeah.
I mean, this goes back to like Susan Smith back in the day. Remember, she drowned the kids by driving her
and then blamed it on the black man.
Yeah,
and blamed it on the black man.
Lady just did that in hammocks a couple months back. You know,
you're right, and blamed it on the black man.
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Ain't blaming it on the black man. And speaking of the black man, did y'all hear Nia Long? What she said? Y'all like that?
Listen,
y'all like that?
Miles, where you at, Miles? Where you at, Miles?
So look, Nia Long said, wait, first, did y'all see her movie?
Yeah. I
heard it was terrible.
I heard
I didn't
see it. I ain't gonna say it was terrible.
It was not terrible. It wasn't terrible.
Oh no,
But it
I
should have
heard
been on
terrible.
Lifetime.
It was not terrible. I walked away traumatized. I was traumatized.
But what? It's the same thing Beyonce did.
It moved and developed way too fast.
It's similar, yes.
It's all the same Fatal Attraction story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taraji P. Henson did as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look, that was what was that movie called, Dwight?
The one with her and Michael Ealy?
It was Ultra something.
I forget. All I know is Gabrielle Union done did a movie.
Gabrielle Union did it. Like,
oh gosh, our people said that they hated it too. But the whole point of it is I hated Nia Long's character. The fact that she was not vocal and just honest with her husband. But I guess that it wouldn't have been the movie, right? It wouldn't have been that movie had she been that girl. Had she been that girl, yeah.
It's the same thing every time, and then they tell later on, it's like
she should have told.
Yeah,
like when he got to the door. He got to the door with her friend. That's when you need to take your husband and be like, girl.
Look, I'd be like, time out. Stop. Hold on 1 second. Let me talk to you over here. Come on.
Yeah. Look, y'all wait outside. Wait outside for a second. Wait outside. But look.
I'm out. 1 second. Come in.
But I will say, I think Omar Epps played that role very well. Like he was scared me.
He did.
He ain't been in the movie since.
Juice.
He's silly.
Juice. No, ever says higher learner. Says higher learner. Says higher learner.
I'm going to study that script for like 20.
That's hilarious. But look, Miles, this is another one for you, Miles. Nia Long was interviewed this week, and she said, not this week, I'm sorry. She had an interview with Essence Magazine, and she went on one of their podcasts. And this is talking about Nia Long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said this is her quote about marriage and where she stands with being married and being someone's wife. She said, I don't know that I need that to feel like I'm in a partnership that's working. And it said that she basically wouldn't be one of the ones that we will be hearing about getting married anytime soon. Do y'all feel like that about marriage? Like that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Ms. Markins, straight up, as a married man who has been married for 13 years, one thing I know for sure is that this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. It's not for everybody. So if you're not willing to put forth maximum effort on all fronts in order to make that thing work, then it's probably best you sit on the sidelines, straight up. So I don't fault any person for speaking their own truth, because quite honestly, there's some mornings I woke up and said it wasn't for me either.
But
just to keep it 100.
Her argument is that people do it as a sign of that's my proof that I am committed to you, and it's not that. It's
I mean, of course there are. I think that there's a degree of truth to that, but I think everybody has to speak their truth. I think that there's. If you looked at it, if you surveyed 1 million people, you get 1 million reasons as to why they got married.
Hold on. Go ahead, Dana. I see you itching. Go ahead, Dana. And he took a drink. Go ahead. We're gonna pass the mic.
I know Miles been married for 13 years, but I did it in 1994, and was with my wife since 85.
Okay.
And a lot of times in marriages, you grow, and you don't know what you got until you grow together.
I agree.
Well, if you go in it not knowing what you got and not knowing because we change every day, and we should grow every day. So when you grow together, you don't know what you need until it's right there, until it's gone, and you be like, damn, I miss it.
I agree.
Yes, but Nia is saying that I can be with the person, but we don't have to get married. That's what she's saying. So it's
but
I mean,
so Nia Long's statement
saying that I don't need this. I'm on my own. That's how you're gonna be. You're like, oh, I'm independent. You independent. If you want to be with somebody, be with somebody.
So Nia Long's statement is interesting because it comes from someone who is single, and it comes from somebody who is not involved in a matrimony. She may be in a committed relationship, but a matrimony is a totally different. As all the married men on this know, that matrimony is a whole different animal. And Dana's been in it since '94. I've been in it since '98. I've been with my wife since '90. And so it's a process, and it's a continual process, and it doesn't stop. Like as soon as you figure out one thing, then another thing pops up, and then the game flips again, and then you just continuously. So therefore you have to come up with your own personal resolve, and you have to come up with your own personal peace or concedence. As I indulge for, hold on a second. What do you think?
Yeah, I keep hearing this theme go around. I keep hearing this theme go around about how you grow in a marriage and you don't know this person and then you grow together. But the fact of the matter is, if we all just want to be honest, we don't even know who we are. We don't really know what really drives us. So the same grace that you give yourself when you can't believe that you just cussed this man out in the grocery store because he rolled over your foot with his basket and was acting like he didn't know he did it. That's the same grace that you got to grant. What? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that situation.
We was talking about something long time ago.
Yeah, no. I wasn't talking about that.
Do you think that Nia was like?
I'm not talking about that one either, Pick. This was the one that happened in public.
I think I'm talking about it.
Oh, you was talking about it?
Hold on. Go ahead, William.
No. If we're talking about Nia, right? So, like, do you think that she?
Yeah, let's go back to Nia.
Construct of partnership as a safety mechanism for herself, rather than trying to get fully committed. She can have one foot out and be like, all right, well, we're not married anyway, if something were to go wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, rather than just try and blanket it and try and blanket it as like, well, if we're a partnership, then we should be fine.
Whatever, Belinda.
It's just like, well, just in case something goes wrong, I'm not fully committed or fully invested anyway.
So, that is it, because when you wake up in the morning, and you are fully vested in that matrimony, you could have been irate the previous night, but when you wake up that next morning, you're like, but dog, I got to make this thing work, because I ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere, so we gonna make this thing work. And you have to you got to come up with a different plan, and you got to come up with a plan to make it work.
But to William's point, in the case of Nia Long specifically, long-term committed relationship with the father of her second child for at least a decade, right? But I think she came to that when they were both equally successful. Remember, he's an NBA assistant coach. She's an actress, director. And I think the part that we're not talking about in terms of matrimony is the notion of coming to this thing equally yoked versus the marriage sort of being imbalanced. And so I think a lot of it lends itself to the fact that she had a career, an established career, and did not want to necessarily think about NBA life. You know what I'm saying? Like what comes with that, all the BS that comes with that, allow her the freedom to kind of do what she wants to do without all the stresses that come with marriage in the normal construct. I can't necessarily be mad with that.
I don't care if it's sports, marriage, or whatever. Anything worth having is worth sacrificing something for. Because you got.
Yeah, but a lot of people not willing to do that, Dana. A lot of people not willing to do that.
That's true.
And then on the flip side of that coin, if you look at it just from a statistical numerical perspective, 50% of all marriages, and I'm rounding up there, 50% of all marriages end in divorce, right?
True.
And I would venture out to say that half of those 50 are a lot of times they're just business arrangements. You know what I'm saying? People staying together for various reasons, whether it's just for the kids or it's because we operate a business. So then I would then beg the question, even to our group here, how many even on the outside looking in, how many truly happily married couples do you really know? Like, how many people do you look at and say, you know what? They look like they really enjoy being married to each other.
Miles, this is my thing. Anybody can put up front. But if you look for a reason to let go, you're going to let go. If you look for a reason to hold on, you're going to hold on. So it's all about what you want.
I think I
think that's
right.
oversimplifying it, Dana.
No, it's just that simple. Either you want to make it work or you don't want to make it work. The two of you have to be in agreement. The Bible says where two or more agree. And if that's the foundation of your marriage, and if you are in agreement, then you can make it work. Speaking of which,
statistically complex.
Yeah, speaking of which, now knowing that somebody is married and still saying that you want to have an entanglement with them.
Who said that?
Did y'all? Darcel Bouvet, she has this show.
Yes, sir.
And Lisa Ray was on there, and she asked a question. She said, "Who would you like?" Lisa Ray.
Players Club. Come on.
Lisa Ray.
We can have an entanglement.
Diamond.
She said, "Who would you like to be in a relationship with? Who would you like to be in a relationship with?" Well, you don't have to say, this is what the host is saying. This is what Garcelle is saying. You don't have to say their name. You can just describe them. And she said, "Girl, I don't have to think about it. It's Will Smith. I'll be in an entanglement with Will Smith."
She said that on television?
On the podcast.
Why is Jada not at her?
What's wrong with that though? Everybody got like a little celebrity crush. Like, don't we?
Yeah, but that's too much. That's too much. They're too close. They're in the same circles. That's too much.
I love Lisa Ray.
But it's already open though. It's already open mode.
They're not in the same.
You love Lisa Ray,
It was like Lisa Ray, like us saying it. Like she knows she don't have no chance. So
no. If we talking about
Lisa Ray got a chance.
She got a what? Yeah.
Ray got a chance.
She got a chance.
No, Lisa Ray got the new Lisa Ray got a chance.
At all.
I still think she got a chance.
Lisa Ray got a chance. Trust and believe.
Listen, if you see a white leather jacket hanging on the door, hanging on the chair at the Smith house, you'll know what the deal is.
So then,
all white jumpsuit on the floor, you know what the deal is.
Garcelle was like, she said, "No, wait a minute now. That he's married. No, that's not what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do that." She said, "Well, you said my type. He is my type."
That's hypothetical.
And so I had to rewind this several times because the lady never said, "What's your type?" That's not what she said. She asked her, "Who would you like to sleep with?"
Well, I mean, but like she was just being honest. Like, I don't see what's wrong with that. I honestly don't. And let's face it. If we're really analyzing Will and Jada's relationship, there have been several entanglements on both sides of the ledger.
We talk about them.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yes, you do, Roy. Yes, you do, Roy.
Trust and believe. You know Will has something.
But look, Jody just brought up a really, really good point. She said, "But wasn't Lisa Ray just bent out of shape recently about Nicole Murphy?"
Absolutely.
Well, she has been out of shape about Nicole is a snack.
That's a snack.
Hey, listen, Nicole more than a snack. Relax. But that's.
Did you say more than a snack?
Listen, let me tell y'all about my cousin. My cousin be looking for the cool Gus. You hear me?
Yeah, he like cougars.
First of all, I don't look.
They find you.
No,
they find you.
I didn't
like cougars.
We're not gonna bring this up, but I didn't look.
William, it's okay.
Go ahead, dog. Why was she bent out of shape about Nicole?
Can I touch that dog?
I want to hear this about Nicole too.
I want to touch that dog.
Can I pet that? Can I pet that?
I want to touch that dog.
I can't hear nothing. Why was she bent out about Nicole?
Why was she bent out about Nicole? Let's hear this.
Do you remember Sunshine?
Yeah. Was with
Lela Rashawn.
What's her real name?
Lela Rashawn.
Yeah, was with her husband.
Oh,
remember
Fuqua.
You remember that?
Antoine Fuqua.
Hey man,
I
listen,
remember that.
man.
Yes, B.
Hey,
And they
wasn't
they were kissing.
Whatever happened with Shannon Sharp and
out of the country.
Nicole Morphy? They just went to yoga and that was it.
That was it. It was the one.
Yeah,
day,
they went to yoga, all right. He stretched out good, probably.
He stretched out.
Oh wow! Well,
Hey man, look, man.
He tried. He tried to shoot his shot.
Hey, look, when he shot his shot, I was proud of him.
Listen. But Michael Strahan was married to her for a little bit, though. Remember?
Listen, Michael
wasn't married.
No. I don't think they ever got married. I think they were just engaged.
I just think that they were in a long-term entanglement.
Or a partnership like
they never got married though.
Nicole Murphy can ask me for entanglement any day.
William, Nicole and William, let's get them together.
Hey, let's do it. 2021.
Listen, Angela Bassett. If Angela Bassett came by me, boy, I'd look at Courtney Evans like, brother.
Hey, look, man.
She married and y'all ain't getting on to White. So why Lisa Ray can't do it?
I'm just saying, like, there's always going to be married.
I never said anything wrong with Lisa Ray.
Brandy
Hey, Lisa Ray, man.
What's wrong with you? See, that's why you on the floor. No, I'm just messing with you.
I hope you guys loved hanging out with us this week. That's gonna do it to it for this edition of My 2 Cents. Join us back next week, same time, same place, and we'll get into it again. Have a good one.
Entanglements.
On every episode.
Hey, listen, man.